I'm a local hippie, and today we're filming a vlog. I'm reading Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros, and currently I'm on chapter 14. I'm listening at work through Audible. I've had this book for, I don't know, like 3 months now, and I was afraid to start reading it because I thought that it was just like a book that had a whole lot of hype, and I was afraid that I was going to start it and then I wasn't going to like it, and it's a pretty long book, so I don't have time for that, but I actually really like it a lot, and I have thoughts, so on chapter 18, and Violet has just been chosen by her dragon, and she's like made history. Okay, look, it's gonna be spoilers. I love both of her dragons. Like, Endurna is so small and so cute, and I don't know how to pronounce the big dragon's name. I don't know, but I love them. They're cute. And he's so like, I don't want to say sassy because that sounds not cool. He's so, they banter back and forth a lot, and I really, really like that. And I just love like the moments that they have where he's in her head. One of the things that I will say is that you can tell that Rebecca Yarros was very inspired by Sarah J. Maas and by a Court of Thorns and Roses, just like based off of the love triangle, and based off of like Raiden, Xaden being who he is, and like the way his character is, and then also Violet, and their relationship dynamic, and then but I also with what's his name, Dane, I don't like him, and I haven't really liked him. I don't like how he's like constantly trying to tell Violet that she can't do it. It's like, she's here, her mom put her in this situation, and you being Violet's best friend of all people, you should know how stubborn she is. And like, at some point you just have to let people live their lives, because when you love someone, you don't try to control them. You let them be who they are instead of trying to control every move they make. And just like as the story goes on, he just seems and I think I had that kind of feeling towards him because of my experience reading A Court of Thorns and Roses, like how things played out between Feyre and Tamlin. I feel that kind of thing happening here with Violet and Dane. She's upset with him because he keeps like doubting her, and it's like even her mother was like, and I don't really like her mom either, but even her mother was like, if any of my children can do this, Violet can. And it's true, because Violet is a very strong person. She's not physically strong, but strength doesn't only come from your physicality. Violet is not afraid to help other people and to put herself last. And that is why her dragon chose her. But yeah, that's my update for now. I may not be back with another update until I'm like finished the book. I mean, if anything interesting happens or I have some new developments that I want to share, I'll come back and update again. But my 15-minute break is almost over and I am so cold. So Hello. So, um, I haven't really read a lot. I'm on page 361. It's taking me a little while to get through this. I only have about 4 or so hours left of this book, so it's not impossible. I should be able to finish it before the end of the day at work tomorrow. And then if I don't, then I have some prepping to do for Thanksgiving because I'm cooking. So I can listen to it then, and then I could also listen to it Thanksgiving Day if it comes to that. But I'd really like to start Iron Flame. So, as promised, I am here to close out the video. I finished Fourth Wing yesterday, and I have some very mixed feelings about the book because in some ways I really loved it, and then in other ways I just wasn't that wowed by it, I guess. For me, as I mentioned before, it seemed just you could tell that Rebecca Yarros drew inspiration from A Court of Thorns and Roses. Okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being inspired by a story that moves you, because A Court of Thorns and Roses, the original trilogy, that's a 5-star series for me, a 5-star trilogy for me. Like, nothing's going to top that. I got very strong Feyre Rysand vibes with this story. And I think that whenever you're drawing inspiration from someone, I just feel like your work shouldn't feel like theirs, like the whole story. Like you took the whole like the heart of Faysand, I feel like she took and just like repackaged it for Violet and Xaden. And from Xaden being a shadow wielder, and the way that he's described, his physical description, to Violet being able to wield lightning, and Feyre's gifted ability being light itself. I just something about that just really didn't sit right with me. Me personally, I feel like it's a little too close. They're a little too similar, and I don't really like that. But I loved the dragons, okay? I love Tarn. I think it's Tarn. I still can't pronounce his name. And Darna. Oh my goodness, I love them so much. And even Sigale. I thought the dragons were such a... I damn near want to say that the dragons made the story. Yeah, they had me just in my seat, just like, yeah. Because I was reading this at work. So, the dragons alone, I would give it 5 stars because that was just amazing. That, like, the dragons are the only reason I wanted to even go on to start Iron Flame. Just don't know if I could say I loved them enough to give it more than 3.5. Maybe I'd give it a 4-star. 3 stars isn't a bad rating, and neither is 3.5. It's a half point away from being 4. So, yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna rate Fourth Wing. I did enjoy this read, but I did find myself putting it down more often than not because I just had other things that I wanted to do, where I was like, it just wasn't that go feeling that I had. I thought it was pretty good. But yeah, those, and I think that I don't really have a whole lot of thoughts on this book, just because I am of the opinion that the first book in a series should never be like super long because you're just introducing it. Like, for example, when I with A Court of Thorns and Roses, it starts out at like 300 pages, and then as you go, they gradually get longer. And even with Harry Potter, it starts out very small, and then gradually, as you get to know these characters, they get longer because you know them already, so there's more space. You know them, you know the world, so there's more space for the story to take to get up to speed is what I'm trying to say. You build up. I I think a lot of times people just kind of start these fantasy series writing these tomes, and it's like you're hitting me with so much at one time, and because you're trying to hit me with world building, you're trying to introduce me to these characters, you're introducing me to these dragons, you're introducing me to this college and what it's like to be there and their everyday lives. It's just a lot, a lot, when each of these things you could have introduced in one book. Do you know what I mean? And it would have been a lot more effective in gripping the reader and and pulling them into the story, because there isn't so much going on at once. So, for a lot of reasons, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and give it 3.5 stars. Those are my thoughts on Fourth Wing. I hope you have a good day. I hope you have a good evening. I hope you read a good book. And I'll see you when I see you. Bye.